Hello everyone, Scott here from Pillow Partners with another Invest Scotland case study where we look at Scottish investments in the holiday home vacation rental space. This case study is slightly different because this property isn't in the market to my knowledge. If it is, I'm looking at it from a different point of view. This is an existing holiday let, very established, lots of bookings, and we're looking at it from the point of view of if we bought this for an investor or it was on the market, would we buy it? Because could we add value? What would we do with this property to maximise the income, make it a better business and a better investment, and increase the resale price at the other end? And if we're putting it into a structured business, then we can increase the valuation of that business. So this is a lovely property here. And again, I'm going to show you some things and then we'll go over what we do. So this is a property right next to the sea in Scotland, but I mean, amazing location. Look how close that is to the water. Fantastic. Inside, again, amazing views over the water. Okay, pictures are okay. The pictures are okay. The properties, wouldn't say old-fashioned and dated, and I hope the owners don't see this because it's not a criticism for that property. This property is standard for the area. They do successfully well. Their rates are high. They've got lots of bookings, so it's not a criticism of the property. This is us looking at this from, we were building up, let's say, a portfolio of $3 million. We're buying individual properties. We would look at ones we know would perform well, that we could add value to, that we could perhaps change slightly to maximise the income and maximise the guest experience as well. Not all about profit, but we know guest experience will push that rating up from 8.4 into the 9s, 9.5. So let's have a look at this. Now, firstly, let's have a little look at the location here. If you're from Scotland, you'll know where that is. If you're from America or beyond, then really Argyll and Bute, the Campbelltown Peninsula, really fantastic place for vacation rentals. Glasgow and Edinburgh, so pretty much on the same latitude, longitude, whatever one it is, longitude. And yes, you're probably a good 2.5 hours drive from 2.5 hours drive from Glasgow for that one. But for a vacation rental, we don't mind that because we're going and we're going to be out overlooking the water there. So location-wise, ideal for a holiday let. Now, look at the location there. As the thing says, it's, 20 yards away, so meters from your front door. What would we do if we had to buy that property? I always look at it from this point of view. Scott Weir inherits it. With everything that I know and the resources I have, i.e. a management company, what would I do to maximise the income? Well, the first thing here is the photos. There are only 6 photos, one of the outside, a cracking photo. You probably don't need to see anything else because that is such a great photo. But here, photos are okay, not dressed in any way. Again, it's dark. It's pretty basic. The person taking the picture is in the photo. Again, a fundamental mistake of don't take pictures in front of mirrors, so we can improve the marketing there. And so we've 6 pictures, but it's very old-fashioned looking, dated. Again, the beds don't look that comfy, so let's have a look and see what we would do. First thing, photos, nice and simple here. We need a better photo. It's cloudy. It's not that impressive. A nice photographer would just get an absolute wow photo. We call the first photo the wow photo. That's nearly wow. It's always next to what's quite exciting, but it's not wow. So we could definitely improve that wow picture, the picture that people see as they're scrolling through on their phones to capture your attention and make sure you go into that listing. So from a marketing perspective, that is an amazing picture. We could improve it so easily now. We could add other pictures of outside, more of the garden, more of the surrounding areas. Having only 6 pictures isn't enough. I have been to that peninsula before, just a few miles down to the village and a few miles further on at Campbelltown. The sunsets are absolutely fantastic. The views that you can hardly see out that window are mind-blowing. It's just going to be amazing. You're probably going to see a sunrise from there. So we want the wow picture. We want a sunrise, a sunset. We want beautiful blue skies. We want what happens there, the orangeness of the sky coming in to set the scene. We want pictures of the outside area. And if there is no outside area, with a little table and chairs with a bottle of wine and a Prosecco chilling, and there's so many things we could do with that, and there's no pictures of the outside. Now, all this land must be theirs, so we would definitely, nice and simple, bang a hot tub in. If you could sit and look over that, and you can't really see it from that picture, but if you had some cracking pictures of that view and you're setting the scene of sitting in a hot tub, looking out, or at the very least some table and chairs, some big comfy things you could sit in, a hammock on the tree, something to set the scene, you would get a higher nightly rate. We don't have any pictures of that view apart from this, so with dual aspect there, we need to do something with that. We need to really get pictures of the views. There's amazing things we can do. Now this, if we look at the listing, and again, this needs revamped as well, and I'm not criticising the owners of this, probably not the owners, it's probably cottages.com that have written it. They've made an arse of it, basically. There's so many things they're not selling here. We have economy 7 central heating. Well, Americans and Koreans and Japanese people probably don't know what that is. It's electric heating. There's no real need to mention that. We want to be mentioning the views. This property will be quite cold because it's electric heating and it's an old property, as we can see. So we want big, thick curtains. We want throws. We want to make that look a little bit modern, perhaps paint that. Fresh. It's nice and fresh. Wooden floors, nice. There's lots we can do there with a little bit of interior design. That old-fashioned picture. Get some pictures of the views. Get some prints of the local area. We can set that table. We can make that just look so much better. Definitely got a bigger fridge freezer because it sleeps 6, and that is not enough for someone staying there for 2 weeks. So very, very easily we can change that. The bedrooms, well, again, simple changes to make that better. Those beds do not look comfortable at all, so they're right with a double bed, but we could perhaps put a sofa bed in there. Don't see why that sleeps 6. It's 2 bedrooms, 1, 2. It's a zip and link, so that kind of sleeps 4 by the looks of it. So there's things we could do. We could separate that. There's things we can do with these beds. Probably 1 bathroom. We want to keep it sleeping 6, but it takes pets, which is good. Get rid of that. There's no need for that to be there, or make that look a little bit more modern in some way. It does look a little bit like a hostel. In the bathroom, again, we could perhaps put a bath in, but the shower's fine. We just make that look a little bit more contemporary. But outside, we can do a lot with that. So put a hot tub in. We can make that look better, even paint the building perhaps. I don't know about extending it, but tidy that up, make that a little area to sit and watch, maybe out the rain, put a gazebo or a pergola, a little fire pit or something. There's so many things we could do with that to really, really make that an attractive property, get those reviews up. We would market it differently. This is cottages.com. It tends to be exclusive, so cottages.com. So you can only advertise it on the one portal, cottages.com, and their affiliates. Opening that up, and we market ours on cottages.com, but all our portals as well. So it would go on Airbnb, VRB, Booking.com. So it would be in every single portal possible that makes sense, rather than just the one. So we would therefore be able to increase the rates, get higher occupancy, etc. So I think there's some nice, simple things we could do with this, but sending a professional photographer out for probably £300 would get you more bookings, and it would get you higher rates. Just changing the pictures of that, some interior furnishing. So we're not talking about spending $50,000 or pounds to make this habitable. We're getting somebody to take the pictures of there. And I bet you if you check guest pictures, you'll see guests having taken all these pictures. So there will be pictures of that somewhere on the internet. But some really simple things. I can see the potential in that property. Lots of outside things. The area is great. That would be one. If it was on the market, I would definitely look at, because I think we could do some good things, and that would fit nicely into a property portfolio for being reasonably high yielding once we get it working correctly, and the property purchase price probably isn't too high for that. So I don't think it's on the market, but I'll certainly look out for it. I think it's an interesting purchase. I would need to see the land.